podcast is brought to you by Patriot Mobile Phone, the phone service of America's Freedom Tribute. Mention our code AFT for your free month of service. Some of the most meaningful friendships don't come from long searches. They simply appear often when we least expect them. You meet people by chance, at an event, or even through simple conversation, and suddenly you realize you share the same passion. That common interest becomes a bridge, turning strangers into something more. There's no need to force conversations or to pretend to be someone else. The excitement you feel about that shared passion creates understanding, trust, and a sense of belonging. It is in those moments that friendships begin, effortless, genuine, and real. These unexpected friendships remind us that connection doesn't always require time, it requires meaning, and sometimes all it takes is one shared passion to turn a random encounter into a lasting bond. I'm Dorina Federici, and welcome to Let's Talk About Veterans, because their stories matter. And I am so excited. You see who I have here? Woo! And that's what that beginning was all about. We all came together more than a year ago to get ready to bring the America's Freedom Tribute here to Wethersfield. And these were the people that I met then. Well, except for my cousin, I knew her already. And I knew Ivana. Mary, I went to school with. But we all came together. We've got veterans. We've got families of veterans. We have people that don't have a veteran in their family, but they have the passion to serve veterans. And that is what this is all about. And I have made friendships now that will last forever because of our love of honoring our veterans and volunteering to make things beautiful for them. So I'm just going to have a few of them speak very shortly about what it meant to them to be part of the tribute when it came here. And you know, another one is coming, a little bit different, but it'll be here in July, so you'll get more information on that. But what it meant to them to volunteer and to be part of something, to me, it was they made my dream come true, but to be part of something that was just, for me, just beyond words. I don't even have words for it. And some of you may recognize Jennifer here. She was on my podcast, a nurse in Vietnam. And Jennifer, how did it feel to you just to even talk about it again here for your first podcast?
Well, I was nervous as anything because it was, you didn't tell me how, I thought it was just going to be audio,
Yeah, no.
not a visual thing, but it went very well.
It did.
And it's really neat how many people now want to hear about Vietnam, because I remember the days, especially coming home when we were, persona non grata, and so it was wonderful.
Right. It really is nice that we can come around and honor.
Yes.
You know, so it's just beautiful. And actually, Christina sent me something over the weekend. It was Sonny and Cher, and you know that was right around the Vietnam time.
Yeah.
They honored a person that came back. So he was MIA, he came back to the United States, and they honored him, and they said, thank you for your service. And I was taken aback because you never heard of anybody saying that to someone who came from Vietnam. And it was a beautiful tribute that Sonny and Cher did, and it was something you never would have thought would have happened back then. So thank you for sharing that too. And Julie, for you to speak. Now, Julie, for you who have not seen her podcast, her brother lost his life in Vietnam. So for her to speak, it was a hard thing. And I'm so happy you were able to share and get to know your brother. We got to know him.
Yeah, it was very hard. But I do want to say I'm so glad that I had the opportunity to volunteer and meet all you people. My brother Drew, he helped set it up, and we both feel the same way. You know, it's like you said, when you came back, you know, you were told not to wear your fatigues on the planes, you know, and they were not treated well when they were out in public, and we won't even go into that. But to have that wall and to have people come to it and really honor it, it was heartfelt. It really was. To think that, you know, I could share that with, especially the high school kids.
Oh, yeah.
They came down, and this teacher brought these 4 kids with him. And I said to the teacher, I said, hey, could we give them an assignment? He goes, absolutely. So Chris and I were working together that day, and we had researched some of the names, and we gave the kids, there were 4 boys, gave them the names to look up on the wall. And at first they were like, an assignment? I mean, I thought we were getting out of school, you know? But they took it, and I mentioned to them that one of them was my brother, and they took it to heart. They went out there, they looked up all the names, they came back with their little sheet saying they found everybody, and they said that it meant a lot to them to know that it's not just names out there on the
Right.
wall, that they're people and there's people left behind.
Right.
I think that was the biggest, aha moment for those kids was, wow, they left people behind. And I think that was the biggest thing I got out of that whole thing.
Ron, how was it for you? You also had a son that came down on a Black Hawk. Did he come down on a Black Hawk? Was it?
Well, no, the Black Hawk was a treat.
Yeah.
Me seeing that in the Huey in Vietnam
Yeah.
and all that just came back again. And
Yeah.
no one makes a helicopter like the Huey in Vietnam.
Yeah.
But my special thoughts go with the little kids. I was able to talk to the little kids, and they were impressionable. They asked all the questions and everything else. But this was as close as you could get to Washington D.C.'s wall. This because I visited that one, but this was just goosebumps.
Wow.
It was really it was well done, and
Yeah.
thank you to all of you. You know, we lost 58,400 people, 400 men and women there, and
Right.
I can't say enough the way this was done and organized.
Yeah,
It was just it was run like a time clock.
It did.
It was
It
was
ran
just
very well.
wonderful. I can't say enough about it.
Yeah. And it's this and 30 more that were always at the meetings. You guys were always there,
Yeah.
whatever. And Ivana, you supported me every step of the way. And I think she even had doubts until she saw that truck coming, the
when
escort.
you came to me that day at Aroma Bistro and said what you wanted to do, I'm like, this woman's crazy. How is she gonna pull this off? But I am so proud of you, Dorina. I mean, you did, and you went above and beyond what I ever expected to see that day, and without a glitch. Without a glitch.
Yeah.
And you wanted the children there, and the schools brought the children. I started crying when they were there with you,
Yeah.
and I'm like, you did it, Dorina.
They
You really
came.
did it.
I think that was the highlight.
You did.
Seeing those kids
I
come
can't
in.
even explain the way I felt about what you did.
Yeah, it
But
was,
yeah, you should be very proud of yourself. And
I'm proud of all of you
yeah, thank you.
because I could not do it by myself. And it was, you guys didn't, you were
Yeah.
just right there.
Well,
You made a dream come true.
That's what I was just gonna say. You had a
Yeah.
dream, and it came through.
It did.
It did.
And what about my cousin?
What about me?
You were there all the step of the way. You were there along with Amy, who was hiding behind me, volunteering, being there, helping out. And I know we had a cousin in Vietnam, and thankfully he came home. So how was it for you to see it all come together? Your husband was there putting it up and taking it down.
It was a family thing for us. Yeah, we all wanted to come and we wanted to help because we all wanted to help your dream come true. And it really gave me a greater appreciation and a greater understanding of what actually happened. And I gotta say, my best moments were when I can actually escort a veteran to that wall and hear their stories about finding a name on a wall. And I did have the absolute honor of escorting my cousins to the wall and hearing his friend that didn't come
Didn't
home
make it.
and her friend who didn't come home, and it was just to hear the stories they were telling, and just it was. I think back about it, it was heartwarming. I met a lot of veterans that day, over those days, and it was just heartwarming to hear their stories and hear them tell.
Yeah.
So
And Amy behind me, who keeps hiding, where is she? I can see her there. You brought your dad.
I did.
Yeah.
This meant a lot to me because my dad's a Vietnam veteran, and growing up, he was always happy to talk about his experiences. So I happened to see that meetings were happening last January, I think it was,
Yeah.
in the Weathersfield Life, and I talked to my friend Deb, and we started just volunteering and getting involved, and it was spectacular.
Right.
I was so happy to have my dad attend. He loved the Black Hawk. He loved all of that. It was so special. And the days couldn't have been better weather-wise. Too. It was just
Oh,
great.
yeah.
That's
Like,
right.
was great.
Yeah.
A blessing, not one bad day.
Right.
And it was such an honor. It was such a joy to be a part of that, a tiny part of it. I felt like I didn't do very much.
Oh.
But
Believe me, you all did a lot.
watching everybody just pitch in and rarely having to be told, watching that wall go up so quickly really was just spectacular. And after it was over, I remember talking to Deb and saying, I actually feel a little bit depressed.
I know.
It was such a joy to be a part of. So
Yeah.
I'm,
It really
I'm
was.
honored.
Yeah, it was tough leaving the
Yeah.
day it left to
was
go by the
sad.
cove, and it was
Nothing there.
nothing there.
Yeah.
It was the hardest thing to see. It was like, come back, Auntie Anne, don't leave me. And now my Mary, who was there from day one. She brought Cindy with her, and she couldn't be here tonight, but Mary, as you,
Yeah,
yeah.
another friend, Judy.
That's right.
And Cindy's sister, Mary Ellen,
Yep.
also volunteered.
yeah, and you guys were there every single meeting that you could be there for. You were there, and they were my first. Well, I think a lot of you were the first night because we had to have security there 24 hours. So I had my name there. I says, if someone doesn't show up, you call me. Don't text me because I won't hear it, but I'll hear the phone. Call me. I'll come right down. I get there 4 o'clock in the morning and they're still there or something. I says, what are you doing? They says, well, they didn't show up. I says, you were supposed to call me. And they're like, we're not calling you. But you know what? I think everybody had such a great time volunteering in the middle of the night. You guys had parties. I'm glad I got there like at 4 a.m.
It was beautiful in the dark with the way
yeah.
it was lit. It was just beautiful.
Just peaceful. It was just very peaceful.
It was
Yeah, it was
intense.
very nice to see it at night.
At night, it was intense.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so what we're going to be bringing here in July is not that beautiful 360-foot wall. It is going to be a smaller version. It'll be next door to the Keeney Center. It'll be the A-frames, but they are a lot of colored walls that are coming along with it, so it is a little bit different. I love that they pulled out the first responders from 9/11 and gave them their own sections, their own walls. So their names are right there. And I have some special things going on, but we're going to be starting some meetings the end of this month. I'm trying to get a room for us to have a meeting. We'll have the escort. We'll do a lot of the same stuff. It's not going to be as grand as the other one because I'm planning this in 3 months versus 14 months. But it's going to be beautiful no matter what. And it'll be right on Main Street in Old Weathersfield. So it'll be really
Doreen,
good.
is it permanent?
This one is not
Okay.
permanent. This one is not. It will be here for the 4 days.
Okay.
Wes, the same gentleman, will be coming, and then when he leaves here, he's going to Braverly, Mass, and that's actually one of my clients, my sponsors. So I may go up there too to see what they do. So he'll be here. That's why we made it here, so he could come to Weathersfield and then just go to Massachusetts. That's why we made it for this time. You know, so there's also something when we did these podcasts. People were so impressed by you two.
Really?
So impressed.
Oh, happy
You
to
know,
hear
so
that.
America's Freedom Tribute. They said, Dorina, we're really impressed. Let's see here. They were just very impressed. Blah. The chair threw me off. So they were so impressed. This is for you and your brother to open.
Oh, thank you so much.
And
Should we
this
open it
is
here or
for
later?
Jennifer.
Wow.
So go ahead and open it. And again, America's Freedom Tribute donated this to you guys.
Wow.
Doreen, you're killing me, Doreen. This is absolutely gorgeous.
Oh, wow. Oh, my poem, the poem that I read. Wow.
Oh my
Yep. I want you to take it out of here.
Oh, that is,
There are clips and stuff in the back.
yeah, to hang it.
Yep, there's right there.
Ah.
Okay. If you want to show the camera, may have to take it out of the plastic to see it better.
Take it out.
This is,
Wow.
yeah, the poem that I read that day. And I have to
From that
say,
corner over there.
yeah, I have to say that I met during my, the past, 50 years since Vietnam, I met so many people who didn't know nurses served. It was like, what? I wrote a poem about that too. Yeah, but now you met one.
They were so, yep, and they were so impressed, and
Yeah.
they asked me for all that stuff about your brother. That is a piece of the wall. And if you see, his name is highlighted yellow. So it's the exact
Really
same
When was he
place
there?
he is.
68, 1968. For
That was-
only 4 months.
That was the tough part of the war.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a
That's
tet.
what I was in
Yeah.
That was bad. It was bad.
And they were
this is-
very impressed by your poem, and they wanted to give you the poem. I got it.
Oh, this is absolutely
This tells you how to hang it.
beautiful.
Oh, wow. Okay, you're killing me, Dorina.
Yeah.
And that's what
That
this
expecting
podcast
that.
was all about.
And
So
look
we had
at
to
the
get you
picture
here.
and everything.
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I gave him your picture,
Ah.
and I gave him the picture of your brother, and they put everything else together. They found all the information about him, and that is, the names are exactly the way they are on the wall, and they highlighted his name.
That's beautiful.
Oh,
Thank you.
And that is
I'm
America's
like-
Freedom Tribute
Ah.
gift to you guys.
Thank you so much.
this
And
is
I just want
unbelievable.
to, I really want to thank you for letting us tell our stories.
Yeah.
It really meant a lot to me to get up there. I tried to get him to come with me, but Mr. Shy Guy. But it meant so much to be able to talk about my brother. And,
bet.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
and then to hear your story. Oh my, you know,
There was so many stories.
because I read that book about the nurses.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and it was like, wow, they were even treated worse than. Do you know what I mean? You were treated worse.
Well, taken for granted in
Yes.
a lot of ways.
You
Yeah.
weren't, they
yeah.
weren't recognized as veterans when you first came
No,
back.
that's right. There weren't services at the VA.
Yeah, and I'm like, wow, that's so wrong.
and
But
it's
then
stuff
to
that
meet a real
I never would've known
nurse,
this.
I mean, it was such a thrill. I mean, honest to
thank you.
God, to meet a real nurse, it just brought that book to life.
Yeah,
It really
thank
did.
you.
It really
Yeah.
did.
Thank
And
you.
if you ever want to read it, anybody, it's called The Women, and it's about. I don't
Yeah.
remember the author, Kristen.
Kristen Hannah.
Kristen
Yeah.
Hannah.
Krista Hannah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if
She's
you
got a lot
want to
of nice
know
books.
what those
Valuable
nurses
books.
went through,
Mm-hmm.
what she went through, please read the book.
Yeah,
It's
it's very good.
fantastic.
Yes.
Working in green.
That's right. So I want to thank everybody that came out. I know some of you didn't know the reason. Well, you kind of knew, but you didn't know. Because somebody would blab. So, but it's just a great way to get together and to acknowledge that people hear you. They're hearing your story. They heard your story.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's what this is so nice about.
Yeah.
Is that we're gonna, I know we don't have that many people that watch us, but maybe we will someday.
You know, it doesn't
Homegrown
matter.
podcast.
Yep.
That's right.
Right?
I'm sure, but it's history. It will be. It will be
It will
remembered.
be. It will be.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they came up to me. They said, "Can you give me her poem and more information on your brother?" And that's what I did. I sent them that picture,
wow.
and yeah, and you both deserve it. You too.
Thank you very much.
Wow, this
Thank you
is
so- I know
this
it's-
is so
yeah.
moving.
Right?
Oh my God!
Like, why am I sitting down?
We got you
Kind of hiding
good.
back here.
We got you good. We got you good. Christina's the only one who knew from the very beginning this was happening.
She gave me away.
I did. I gave her away,
my
and I
God.
showed it to
Yeah.
her. Well, I didn't show. I took pictures and whatever. I did a FaceTime. Look
Just
what I got.
I can't stop looking at it. It's actually,
Yeah,
oh my God.
I know we couldn't get you that flag and stuff when we were there, but I think this is
That's
probably
okay,
a little
because
bit
funny
better.
story about that flag, right? You guys are going to laugh. We have other siblings, right? So Drew and I were the ones that volunteered, right? And we were there all day. So, they're thinking we're getting this flag. So my two sisters are already planning. One was going to hang it on Memorial Day, and one was going to hang it on Veterans Day. I go, Drew, what do we get?
Halloween. or
Halloween,
whatever.
maybe 4th of July. So
Now
we're
you can
like,
share
So
that.
where's the flag now?
We didn't get one.
No.
Oh, they have the flag.
No. They were presenting families,
Oh,
The Gold Star family.
Gold Star families,
Ah.
flag.
but they had to submit an application
Right.
and everything for the flag, and
Ah.
so we thought we were getting one, like Dorina thought, and then we found out that we weren't, but it's okay, because we didn't know the process.
Yeah, I didn't understand
But
the
they
process.
had to fill out an application, and they were presenting with these flags. Well, my sister's thinking Drew and I are getting one, so they were already hanging it.
There you go. There you go.
I'm like, really?
Yeah.
It's too funny.
Drew goes, I don't think so.
Well, I
you
hope
guys
as we, as we get closer and I'll let you guys know when the meeting is. If you could like to be there, that would be great.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'll do
we would
that.
love to be.
Yeah.
I'll give you a hand again.
Yeah, definitely.
It'll only take about an hour to set this one up.
The
But
other one
it'll
wasn't
be-
that hard. It was just so well executed, and the amount of people that were there, and everyone just was doing their
Their
thing.
thing. It was
Great.
just beautiful, you know,
And the fact that they laid the track down
first, the day
before.
before.
Yeah, that
That they
helped.
could
They're
just
great.
slide
They're
them in.
great people to work
Oh,
with.
yeah.
They
The way
really
that
are.
wall moves and the trailer they had it in was impressive.
Yeah.
The whole thing
Yeah,
was
that
impressive.
was very
from
impressive.
start to finish.
Yeah, it really was. It really was. So, again, this podcast is brought to you by Patriot Mobile Phone, the Service of America's Freedom Tribute, the phone service. Didn't put that in there. Mention our code AFT and you could get a free month service. So I actually looked into this. If you go into Patriot Mobile and you take a look, it'll ask you for your zip code, what kind of phone you have or whatever. It is here in Connecticut. You can get it. It does give you a discount. So just look it over, and if you decide to do it, AFT gives you the free month free of service. So again, I want to thank everybody for listening, and remember that veterans' voices matter today and every day. Thank you. Till next time, thank you.
So I'll leave you with a little humor.
Okay, go for it.
My wife says, "Don't get any ideas. You're not going to rescue the pilot."
But good news, he got rescued.
They got him. They got him.
They did. They got them both.
And remember,
Right.
everybody, as I've been ending this every single Monday, please remember our troops, remember their families, and let's pray for them all to come home soon and safe. And thank goodness, thank God that our pilots were all rescued by the Americans.
Yeah.
Thank you again, and until next time.